On social media platforms, it's common to see individual posts desiring the readers to celebrate many occasions with them. For me, out of them all, wedding anniversaries really seem to stand out. In today's message, we'll take a look at a wedding celebration that took place in a small, remote, obscure village called Cana, located in Galilee. It is without question one of the most important, but also perhaps overlooked celebrations in the Bible. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm Donnice Tabor, pastor of Divine Church in Metro Atlanta, where we believe it's all about His will, His way, His word. If you're being blessed by these short but thought-provoking messages, please like, comment, share, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. John, the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 8. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, They have no wine. Jesus said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother said unto the servants, Whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firklings apiece. Jesus said unto them, Fill the water pots with water, and they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, Draw out now, and bear unto the governor of the feast, and they bare it. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and said unto him, Every man at the beginning does set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. This beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. And for a point of emphasis, 2 verses in your hearing again, verses 9 and 10, which read, When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water, which was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servant which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and said unto him, Every man at the beginning does set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. I want to witness to you for the next few moments from this thought. From water to wine, from water to wine. Here in today's lifted text, there's a joyful, fun-filled, and exciting time for the bride, groom, their families, as well as their guests. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. However, unbeknownst to them, the unexpected has happened. There's still water, but no wine. The first thing I noticed seeping from the text was the invitation mentioned in verses 1 and 2, which reads, And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. The word called comes from a Greek word, parakaleo, which means to invite. May I suggest to each of us to see this invitation as a reminder of how important it is that we first invite Jesus into our lives and then allow him to become the center of our lives. The takeaway here in the text is if we invite Jesus in, he will attend, from water to wine. The second thing I noticed leaking from the text was the collaboration recorded in verse 7 and 8, where John writes, Jesus said unto them, Fill the water pots with water, and they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, Draw out now and bear unto the governor of the feast, and they bare it. One of the many things I like about this story is the fact that Jesus has chosen to solicit help of the servants, not because he actually needs their help, but that they would know of his power to transform. Let me ask you a question. How often has Jesus instructed us to do a simple task, one that we're very familiar with, one that perhaps we've done many times before, a task that seems so simple that at times it makes no sense? The takeaway here in the text is sometimes we'll be asked to do something simple to assist the Savior, from water to wine. The final thing I noticed pouring from the text was the transformation found in verses 9 and 10, which says, When the ruler of the feast tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and said unto him, Every man at the beginning does set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. It's clear to see that in this story, the transformation is from water to wine. And we find here that this can be symbolic of the transformation Christ is able to make in your lives. We need to be present, invite him in, do what he tells us, and we too can simply be transformed. The takeaway here in the text is this. Transformation can already have taken place in our lives. Some people close to us are aware. Others have no clue that we've changed, but are still made beneficiaries of our transformation. In closing, remember, whatever you're celebrating, invite Jesus to it. Collaborate with him in it, and there'll be a transformation because of it. Today, we're reminded that Jesus is able to take something ordinary, such as water, and turn it into something extraordinary, such as fine wine. From water to wine.